We've got a great panel for you this morning. I want to start, though, by thanking Pete and Nicole and all of the governor's office and all of the sponsors for bringing this event together this morning. Thank you very much. I'm going to start by introducing each of our panelists. I think they each really bring some very distinct insights in terms of the topic we're going to talk about, which is business growth and development. And then I'm going to let each of them speak for a few minutes, and then we're going to dig into some questions and answers. I think at this point I would request everyone to hold questions until after the initial remarks by the panelists, but please don't hesitate once we get into the Q&A to really try and draw out some helpful takeaways from the panelists, because together they've got some fantastic experience. Our first panelist is Dr. Steve Lawrence. He's Executive Director and Research Professor for the University of Houston Texas Gulf Coast Small Business Development Center Network. He has over 35 years of experience successfully creating, restructuring, and leading client-focused organizations, having held executive-level positions as Division President, CEO, Senior VP, COO, Group Vice President, Area Vice President, and Regional Manager for Pepsi-Cola in the U.S. and multiple countries internationally. Steve holds a doctorate in community health as well as a master's in public health from the University of Texas School of Public Health in Houston, and also has an MBA from the University of Denver. So please join us in welcoming Steve Lawrence. Good morning. Next panelist is Nini Gutierrez. Nini recently joined Baker Ripley's Economic Opportunity Team as a small business coach. Nini has more than 4 years of experience in business lending and over 8 years of consumer finance experience. She holds a master's in nonprofit management and a bachelor's in communication studies from the University of Houston downtown. And Nini uses her passion for small business development in Houston to support entrepreneurs so that they are successful and live up to their full potential. Please join me in welcoming Nini. Next on our panel is Thomas Nguyen. Thomas is a co-founder and CEO of Peli Peli, a South African fine dining concept currently ranked in the top 10 in Houston on both TripAdvisor and Yelp, and Peli Peli Kitchen, a South African fast casual concept that was named Eater Houston's Fast Casual Concept of 2017 and recently opened inside of Houston's first 365 by Whole Foods Market in the Heights. Thomas was featured on season 3 of CNBC's Restaurant Startup. He's an alum of the University of Texas at Austin and University of Texas School of Law. Thomas practiced for 3 years as a litigation attorney, and then he started doing something a lot more interesting and fun, sounds like. He's a 2015 Houston Business Journal 40 Under 40 recipient, a 2016 Houston Asian Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneur of the Year, and a 2017 Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year finalist. Please join me in welcoming Thomas. And also on our panel, to my far left, is Miguel Gutierrez. Is that correct, or is it?
Yes, Miguel Gutierrez. Good morning, everyone.
And Miguel is a volunteer certified mentor and the director for the Hispanic Initiatives for SCORE Houston. Under Miguel's leadership, the Hispanic Initiatives has increased within four months the number of mentoring sessions, workshops, social media presence, client database, and workshop attendance. And he has established new and stronger relationships within Hispanic organizations and Spanish media outlets. His business background is based on marketing and real estate. Miguel is a home developer approved by the Land Assemblage Redevelopment Authority of the City of Houston to build entry-level homes in the gentrification area of the city. Please join me in welcoming Miguel.
Thank you.
All right, so our topic is business growth and development, and that's a big topic, and it really ties to probably all the topics that will be discussed today. But I'm going to ask each of our panel members to give us their views on that topic, and then also try and give you some key takeaways to really bring home with you on this topic. So maybe we can start with Steve.
Sure. How do the slides work? Is there a clicker? Great. The green one? Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. I'm the executive director for the Small Business Development Center. And we've been with the University of Houston since 1986 to help small businesses start, grow, expand, and succeed. And this isn't working, so I don't know. The green one's not making it go.
Can they do next slide for you?
Yeah, if they could just flip it to the next slide. Yeah, I'm sure you are. And I can talk about it forever without the slides, but it helps a little bit. So we serve the 32 counties that surround the Houston metro area, and we have 15 centers located around Houston that have full-time business consultants that are there free of charge for anyone who wants to start or grow their business. So we work a lot with businesses that want to start, and we work with businesses that are already in business to help grow their business. We provide business advising services of every kind. We can help with building the business plans. We can help with loan proposals. We can help with marketing. We can help with all kinds of activities so these are the locations that we have around the Houston area. And these services, business advising services, are at no cost. We also provide low-cost business training in anything that you can imagine. So whether it's QuickBooks, whether it's marketing, cybersecurity, or anything else that has to do with small businesses, we can help small businesses learn about the kinds of things that they need to. If we don't have a program that a group of small businesses would like, we can create that education program, and we'll provide that. We have a training center down on Fannin that is a state-of-the-art facility that people come in for training, but each of our 15 centers is also capable of doing training. And every one of those 15 centers has a full-time professional advisor. If you've been in an organization for 10 years, you're a rookie. So these people have been doing this for a long time. In addition to that, we have what I think is one of the most important services that we can provide, which is a no-cost market research. So how many of you know a small business or have heard of a small business that had trouble getting started because they didn't know their market, they didn't know their competition, they didn't know what pricing they should be doing, and they didn't know what the demographics of the area were? Well, we can provide all that information for free, absolutely for free, if people come and register with the SBDC. We've got that. We have lots of databases that we can connect to, and we can provide them with reports for all of the market research for the businesses that they want to start. And finally, we're our regional network. We've got these 15 offices around Houston, but every state in the United States and all of the territories has an SBDC. So if someone needs some kind of a connection to other states or other territories, we can also make those. All of the SBDCs work together. So the business advising services, like I said, we can do business model, helping do business plans, create strategies. We can do forecasting. And one of the most important things that we do also is we have inside of the SBDC, a PTAC, a Procurement Technical Assistance Center, which helps people figure out how to do business with the government. So if you're a small business, whether you're starting or you're already in business and you want to do business with the government, our Procurement Technical Assistance Center does all of the same kinds of training and business advising free of charge to help people understand how to do contracting with the government. And in addition to that, they also do their own training for people. The SBDC has played an important role in Texas. During the last year, we helped create over almost 5,000 jobs, saved over 2,000 jobs. But the most important thing is that we increase sales for businesses that work with us, and we're inexpensive for the government. So we are a free business advising service to the people who use us, but we're paid for primarily half by federal and half by state government. And for every dollar that they spend, we give about $9 back to the economy in terms of taxes. And we also increased sales by over $300 million last year. So we're the only full-time professional hands-on business advising at no cost available to small businesses. We do access to we have access to in-depth marketing research. As I mentioned, that's for free. We do all kinds of training. We can help with community connections. If we don't know how to do it or where to do it, we'll point you in the right direction. We work a lot with SCORE, who's going to talk in a few minutes. SCORE has got a lot of industry-specific knowledge. Then if we don't have that, we'll help refer you to SCORE, and they do the same back and forth with us. So anyway, if there's something we don't know, we'll help you find it in the market. And we just want to work with businesses to help them start, grow, expand, and succeed. This last year, if you worked with the SBDC, your employment growth, the number of employees that you had, grew over 14% as compared to the rest of small businesses in Texas that grew about 1%. If you work with the SBDC in the last year, your business sales grew about 16% as compared to other small businesses that didn't grow. They remained flat. So it's a very valuable service that we can provide. Most of it is at no cost except for some of the low-cost training. And we've been doing it for a long time, and we're very happy. We get up every morning with a job is just to help small businesses start, grow, and expand and succeed. That's what we live for. Our people love it. They've been doing it a long time, and a lot of you know who they are. So we're the SBDC. We're open for business, and we'll help any small businesses get started. So we'd love to see anybody who wants to help small businesses go to work. We also are working hard to work with the community networking to make sure that we're working with other people who are working with small businesses so that we're not overlapping services and so that we can expand the services and use our resources properly for small businesses. So thank you very much, everyone.
That was great. Thank you, Steve. Nini, would you like to?
Of course. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nini Gutierrez. I am a small business coach with Baker Ripley. So as many of you know, Baker Ripley is one of the largest nonprofit organizations in the Houston area. And so I am on the Economic Opportunity team, which has a small business entrepreneur connection program. We saw that there was a need in the Latino community to provide services in Spanish. So that's when we created this program. And so basically what we're doing is a lot of similar things that the SBDC does, but in Spanish. So we have 5 different areas that we work with our entrepreneurs in. So we have a commercial kitchen, a brand new commercial kitchen available for entrepreneurs to use if they're in the food service industry. We have a retail market where we're helping local small businesses come and introduce their products to the community and be able to sell at our center, which is our new East Aldine campus. And then we have, we have an academy. We have an academy that helps businesses grow or launch. So there's 2 different categories. They go through 8-week sessions, and they're able to see different aspects of business. So if they're launching, business market analysis, we do marketing. And then for the grow classes, a lot of individuals in the Latino community have businesses. Maybe they've been 3, 5, 10 years in business, but they never developed a business plan. They need more organization. They need help with accounting. So that grow class helps them with that. And then we also have technical assistance available for free for our clients, so they can make appointments with our small business coaches and receive technical assistance, which also helps them with business planning. If they have, if they're just starting their business, we help them with marketing again. We help them also, another aspect is connecting with resources. So if they're looking for capital, we help them and we connect with our partners in the community. If they're looking for more in-depth research, we actually send them to the SBDC maybe, or we also help them and send them over to other partners as well. So we have a lot of things that we're working on. Our program is growing, and if anybody's any more interested in more in-depth information about Baker Ripley, you can also ask me. Thank you.
Thanks, Nina. Thomas, would you like to go next?
Sure. Good morning, everybody. I'm fortunate to play a small role in probably one of the areas of Houston that has become something we should all be very proud of. Houston is now, if we've known for years, one of the biggest melting pots in the country. And the forefront of that, finally, is the recognition of the restaurant industry here, which is now getting national recognition in terms of James Beard Awards, national exposure for the diversity that we have in the city. So it's something that I'm extremely proud of, being an immigrant and having lived in Katy since 1979. I've seen this city kind of evolve and have kind of become so progressive that I think now we lead the charge in the country in terms of what a restaurant should be and how it contributes back to the city. As you guys know, in Houston, we have almost every single nationality represented, and represented well. And the great thing about our city is everyone is excited, especially when it comes to food. It used to be when you wanted to eat Asian cuisine, you'd go to P.F. Chang's. It's a very sad time, right? And now it's, people go to Chinatown, and it's not anything different. It's what you do. And, what used to be Tex-Mex, now, you're able to go dive into regional Mexican cuisine, and it's normal. It's a normalized process, and I think, Houston being at the forefront of that is something that we should all be very proud of and also take advantage of. I will tell you guys, Houston is where in the next few years, all the nationals, all the major national chains, all the most successful restaurateurs in other states are coming into Houston. And they're coming into Houston because it's not only is a great market, but it's a diversified and educated market that is not afraid of different types of cuisines. We spend a lot of money in the city on eating out. Real estate is at a great price point, and there's room to expand. So, for me, I'm scared because obviously it's going to be even more competitive. But this is the business that I knew I was joining in. It's if we're going to be top rated in the greatest city in the country, we have to be ready for the competition, and we have to adapt and evolve as well. But I will tell you guys that last year I think the last count was 12,000 restaurants. I mean there's new restaurants opening every day, and it's great for the consumer, great for the city, and we'll have to continue to evolve and put out a great product to be able to compete with everyone. But the good thing is there's going to be more food halls that are opening in the next year. There's going to be more food festivals that are coming into the city. The barrier to entry of creating a restaurant now is very low. And if you guys want to get more involved in the restaurant industry in terms of the connections, encourage you to join the Greater Houston Restaurant Association there. Jonathan Horowitz does a really great job of providing programs that educate and help business development as it pertains to restaurateurs and all the ecosystem that participates in the restaurant industry. So hope to meet you guys in person soon and continue to help this city grow.
Thank you. Miguel?
Good morning, everyone. I know it's early and some of us are still sleepy. Well, we are SCORE Houston. We are not competence of SBDC and Baker Ripley. All of us are partners, so basically we do the same. SCORE is a non-profit organization that was born in 1964. I will say it's a son of the Small Business Administration. In 1964, the Small Business Administration noticed that there were a lot of entrepreneurs and small businesses that came to get loans with their banks. Not their banks, but sponsor banks. And people didn't have the training. They didn't know how to open business. They didn't know about a business plan. They didn't know how important marketing was, taxes, law, etc. So that is how SCORE was created. Actually, in United States, we are 13,000 SCORE mentors in every single city in the United States. We are 300 chapters in the United States. Here in Houston, we are 130 mentors and businesses, offices in Gesner and 59, and we can attend people all over Texas, all over Houston, anywhere in Houston. Basically, what you do if you want to get our services with a mentor, because it's one-on-one, absolutely free, you can go to our website by zip code. We can help you, or you can just come to the office, in the Gesner office. We do seminars. We host, hold about 240 seminars per year, English and Spanish. I am the director for the Hispanic initiatives, and our goal is to reach as many Hispanics business or entrepreneurs as possible. And our goal is to reach retail first. After that, people that it's in the restaurant industry, construction, and finally, all other businesses like technology. So just go to our website. It's houston.score.org. Find your mentor there. Find our workshops there, absolutely free. You don't have to pay a single penny. And we are offering services in every single area, since marketing, business plan, law, accounting, everything that you want, fashion. And if you don't find any mentor here in Houston, you can find it in other city. By let's say that you are in the fashion business and there is no one in the fashion business here in Houston, you can find it probably in New York. You can get service from that mentor through through email, phone call, or webinars. So you have access to 13,000 mentors all over United States, just a click over the internet in our website.
Okay, so I've just started a small business. I've got some experience. I've got some initial funding. I'm going to go to SBDC, going to roll in the Baker Ripley Academy, take my best prospects to Pele Pele, and then talk to SCORE and get some mentoring. But what's next after that? So I'm trying to build my best practices list. What's first? Miguel, what would you say? What's first on my best practices list?
Based on my best practices is not to be scared to open a business. Second, have a business plan. Because if you don't have a business plan, you're not going nowhere.
Okay. Nini, what would you add to that?
So I was going to say a business plan, because I see a lot of clients that have been in business for a long time that need a little organization, and having that business plan will help them with growth. Maybe looking at projections, for the next 2-3 years. And then another one is knowing your resources. There are so many resources in Houston, and it's one of the biggest things that I tell every client that I speak to. Take advantage of all the resources.
And I think both of those are terrific points. I want to draw that out a little bit. So are there good examples of starting points for best practices business plans? What would the panelists say on that? Anybody? So a good starting point. If I'm working on my business plan, are there example business plans that I could look to and help fill in missing pieces?
Sure. I mean, if you come to the SBDC, we've got people that have been working on business plans and know how to build business plans from scratch for a long time. But the first thing they're going to ask you to do is to go back and make sure you've done your market research. There are so many people who have great ideas and their businesses fail because they went into it blind, because they didn't know who the competition was, what their pricing should be, what is their point of difference. Anybody who's starting a small business needs to have a point of difference from the competition. And the way to do that is to find out about the competition and find out about the market and what's in the market. And so a great starting point is going and finding that market research. I mentioned to you earlier that you can, through the SBDC, you can get that market research for free. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a couple of weeks, but the report will come back and give you all of the information you want about your business. And in addition to that, you can ask questions very specifically about your business. And so whether it's Baker Ripley or SCORE or any of the other community services that are available in Houston, you need to do your market research to be successful, because you have to have that to build your business plan. You can't build a very good business plan if you don't know what the market, what's going on in the market, and what your competition is going to be.
That's great. And Thomas, this is something I think you've probably encountered firsthand. What are some of the key things to think about in terms of how you differentiate yourself?
Great question. You know, especially I've been to the SBDC before, and great program, and it's an opportunity to talk to a lot of people that are interested in being entrepreneurs, opening their own business. For me, I always tell them, you know, make sure you're either introducing a product that is greatly improves upon that particular industry. So if I'm going to come into the restaurant industry, I need to make sure that what I'm serving is either uniquely different, it's not currently offered in the marketplace, or it's substantially better than what is out there. And not better because I think it's better, it's better because I've been able to do a panel of taste testing over and over and over to make sure that this is a product that people will accept. You know, for us, when we did South African, I mean, we couldn't get any money. Most landlords wouldn't want to talk to us because they didn't believe that we could succeed. The only reason that we felt comfortable that this was going to survive the marketplace is we spent over a year doing taste testings almost every week. And it wasn't so much to convince other people, it was to convince ourselves. You know, now I think it'll work, Paul thinks it'll work, my partner, Chef Paul. How do we really know if this will work? And, you know, your friends and family, my wife would tell you, it's going to be great. That's not good enough. You know, you want people that have no vested interest and have no, you know, qualms about telling you the truth. And that's probably the number one problem that I see when I meet younger entrepreneurs, in that they haven't done enough due diligence in making sure that their product is going to survive the marketplace. You know, everyone always inherently thinks, I'm just going to be better. Well, what does that mean? You know, and like panelists have mentioned here, a business plan is very important because it's requiring you to put down on paper, how are you going to accomplish this? Why are you better? And oftentimes when people write it down, they might not either be able to write it down because they don't have a really good answer, or the more they write, the more they realize that, I don't know if this is good enough. And so, you know, and one other thing for us, especially being in restaurants, I don't think you can underestimate the value of marketing anymore. You know, especially with restaurants. I mean, I think 10 or 15 years ago, if you had a chef-driven restaurant, it will probably work as long as the food is halfway decent. And I don't think that's the case anymore. It's such a fragmented marketing place nowadays. People get their information in so many different ways. People lose their attention in so many different ways. There's not one particular medium that gets to everyone. It's very fragmented. So, you know, you have great restaurants closing all the time. And it's not because they don't know how to operate a business or don't have great food. It's because they underestimated how long it would take to get someone's attention, and they ran out of capital beforehand.
Right,
So.
right. Now, this is a great topic, and it's very interesting. I'm from a completely different business area, life science, growing small life science companies, but something you're saying, it really connects in terms of data. And before you market or sell something, you've got to create the data to support what you're trying to market or sell. Is that a truth you would say for any business? You know, really, there's almost a step before you're out doing hard marketing. You have to know specifically what you're selling and what's going to differentiate you.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas just said something that's really important, is that so many small businesses forget that they need to plan for 30, 60, or 90 days of nobody coming through the door, of no internet sales, of nothing. And they've got to have the capital to be able to survive that and what the plan is going to be. I mean, it's a thing that we reinforce with everybody all of the time. You're not going to open up for business and that first day have so many orders that you don't know what to do. It's just not going to happen. So you've got to have a great plan to be ready for that.
And just to build on that a little bit, you know, we live in a world we're bombarded by all different kinds of media, social media, other kinds of media, other kinds of marketing and advertising. What would be some of the things you would say that would be first to examine for a business in terms of you know, the social media side? And Miguel, maybe what would be some of your thoughts on that?
I will say that the most important is to know that the market is changing every single minute. I will say that because what I liked yesterday, I may not like it today. So we have to be updated every single day, especially in knowing how millennials or new generations are using our services. Because we are probably will focus in just one area, one niche, and we are forgetting some other ones that are really important and they can help us grow our business.
Okay, excellent. And
So, Dave, so one thing he just said is super important, is not just paying attention to yourself. You've got to pay attention to the other people too. So the small businesses sometimes get so absorbed in themselves that they forget to see and look out what's going on around them to be able to adapt to the competition. So what he's saying is so important, is making sure that you're looking at the data not only about yourself, but about what's going on in the market.
excellent. We've got just a few minutes for Q&A. Are there any questions on these topics that someone would like to hear from our panel on? Yes.
I'd like to know how much can you rely on social media for your business? Kind of like, I mean, can you use it as a marketing scheme, or and when you do, can you basically use that as a tool and rely on it, or is it just kind of something that you can kind of put out there for yourself and you got to do other things as well?
It's just one tool. It's just one tool. Don't undervalue it. Don't overvalue it. You got to do it, but don't think that one thing is going to, get you to the next level. You have to do it. Social media is just another medium for you to connect with your customer base. That's as simple as I can put it. There's a lot of different social media aspects. Obviously, the two, especially in our field, is obviously Facebook and Instagram. If you're a restaurant or a business and you don't have a Facebook or Instagram, I think you're, losing a lot of connectivity, potentially a ton. I mean, if I ever met a restaurateur that didn't have a Facebook or Instagram, I'd think, man, good luck. That's a very difficult thing, because you're basically saying, I don't want to connect with potentially 60% of my customer base. Then why are you in business, right? One thing I want to add too in terms of data is we have become a very review-driven world, and so you can't get into social media if you're not acknowledging and embracing and creating a culture that breeds positive reviews. Whether you're in retail or restaurants, that's what Amazon has helped create. If I buy something, anything I buy nowadays, anywhere I eat nowadays, whether I go on Google, whether I go on Yelp or TripAdvisor, it doesn't matter the platform. The basic thing is, I don't know anyone that doesn't at least check what that ranking is for a particular restaurant. You have 12,000 restaurants. I can't possibly eat at them all. So when I want to go out to eat, I'm going to look. If they don't, and I don't mean to say it, this sounds elitist, I hate it when I say it, but I don't eat at restaurants that don't have at least a 4-star on Yelp. And it's not because I'm snobby. I eat at KFC every Tuesday, okay? So, but for me, it's a valuable time that I'm either spending with my wife or a coworker or someone. I'm eating something, okay? And so there's so many restaurants in Houston. Why would I go to some place that is subpar? Right? There's just too many restaurants. And so if you're going to go into the space, whether you're retail or restaurant, social media is wonderful, but please focus on the reviews. Because if you have a 2-star restaurant, it doesn't matter what you do on social media. All you're doing is bringing people to your 2-star experience.
And we're close to our end, but
Yes, on marketing, based on your target, you have to do a mix. Traditional marketing plus social media. You cannot rely on just one of them. And if you are on social media, get with professionals. Don't try to do it yourself. Because as Thomas is saying, you can hurt your business rather than helping your business to grow. So if I post something on social media in the day that is not the right date for that particular social media, let's say Facebook, it's not going to have engagement. So look on the statistics and see if I post something on Twitter, what's the best day and time to put something on Twitter, and what will be the best subject. If I'm going to do it on Facebook, what is the best day and time to post something on Facebook, what kind of pictures I am doing, if I'm going to program all of the posts that I'm gonna post every single month, because we cannot waste 5 days a week posting, doing posts. So that has to be planned in someone that has experience on that subject. We cannot do it ourselves.
That's great, thank you. And I think our panelists could stay for just a few minutes. If anyone has any more questions, we'll just be right over there. And the one thing I would add, in terms of takeaways, I think just plain old-fashioned building your network is huge. It's huge in any business. You're going to make relationships that may bring business to you, but you're also going to learn about the business and begin building that data that really helps. Thank you very much. Appreciate being here today.
Thank you.